Hey guys, M12 Warthog here. I am back with another strategy guide, and today we will be strategy guiding Age of Conquest for Feudal Japan Expanded Scenario. This one has the most nations or factions that you can play as far as I know from the menu when I looked at it. So, for this one, I already got an idea of how the scenario is going to play out, what we can do to win, and how we can do this. Now, if some of you guys have issues sticking to the end game, closing out games in the end, or having issues with that, that's going to be kind of hard to figure out in a situation like this if you pick the wrong location, because you're not usually going to be in the late game. You're probably going to get eliminated early on in the early game. So you got to sort of make sure at the very least, based on what you pick, you get at least a decent early game. It's okay if you don't get the best, but in this scenario, if you just get a decent one, and you can ride it out and expand through either claiming unclaimed territories or pissing off your neighbors and going to war with them, well, that's up to you and how you want to do it. But I'm going to show you how I think we're going to go about this, put ourselves into a scenario. Now, I do like the idea of this one. It's a new map, it's a new scenario, but I do feel like this is kind of accurate in the way that the nations that start out with the most amount of land have the least amount of population. So, for the new people, sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of these names. I do not speak Japanese, so if anything, what we see here is that they have the biggest amount of territories, but they have the smallest amount of population. So they couldn't be able to, early game, if they had 100 gold, to buy 100 troops, and so forth. So, you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot in terms of your ability to expand early game through expansions, although you could buy more troops from each individual territory, seeing as you have more territories that can be taxed and so forth, but that's also kind of based on population and how many people are happy and willing to pay taxes as well. But a good thing that does come out of this, even though that I make it sound bad, is that you have to make navies in order to attack them. So and it's based on 50% of the troops you're making. So if you have 100 troops and you want to put them on a ship on water, make it a navy, well, it's going to cost you 50 gold for that. And sometimes you may not have the ability to put down that. So you could sort of play like the one person who's like, leave me out of this, I'll let you guys finish what you want to do, finish your disputes, leave me out of it kind of thing. For only up until a certain point, until people start realizing that you have good land and resources that they can start taking from you. So if you're going to do that, you're going to have to be quick about trying to make use of what you have and how you use it to weaken your enemy's ability to get you back. Because you want to sort of start taking territories from other people and getting resources from them that you can use before they start doing that to you. And a bunch of these 1 to 2 nations that start out, yeah, that's these nations here that start with 1 to 2 territories. Probably not going to be the best in terms of expansion, as you really don't have that much room to, and plus other people are going to want to expand here. Two, another thing that I want to point out, though, is that also in this scenario, you do have the ability of splitting your gold amongst your territories. So, say you start out with 200... Say you start out with 200 gold and you start out with 100 troops in your capital, you can buy 50 for that one and have 150 there. Whereas other people might want to make sure they don't lose as much territory as they can early game because they're all so close together, and that's probably what they're going to do. So they have to spend maybe 20 troops per a border or something like that. Now, on the other hand, that does seem like an easy thing to do, but over here it's a little more squished in, but you definitely have where you have a few right next to each other, Some have room for expansions, but I feel like this is the better off area because you're not dealing with like too many people at once, and some of the people who have to get you are through borders, borders, but mostly water. Like this one. I'm not sure if this one counts. Yeah, I guess that counts as land border. And then you have this one here and this one here that are close by, but they have to go and say attack this nation via water or go through someone else's land. And you gotta focus also, in my opinion, on how to get as much land as you can in the land grabbing phase. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name of this faction, but I'm gonna join this faction. Or become this faction. Okay. So, during this period, tensions of war are ripe in Japan. Historically, this date was when the combined forces of Nobunaga and Tokugawa, okay, whatever these names are, sorry I can't pronounce them, fought in the combined forces okay, so pretty much a bunch of clans all of a sudden decided to hate each other and fight each other. That's what I'm getting at, or maybe not necessarily hate each other, but wanted power over the others, or for some reason they wanted conflict. Okay. I'm gonna buy 50 there, but there's a reason for that. I'm doing that rather than the 25 that I'm gonna put in these other territories here. Now, I got like 2 out of 4 blocked here. That's only 1. I could probably build units there next turn. Okay. I wanna do that. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm aware that's a border and I'll fix that later on, but I don't have the action points to guard all the borders I have now. Which is the benefit of playing with a much smaller thing. You could put more units per territories if you want to guard all your borders, and you might even actually have the ability to do so. Okay, so, now they have only 34 units here. So, this is intriguing, because I feel like I could just rush in there and go get that. So, what I might do is actually buy 75, because I can't buy 100, even though I could afford it with the gold I have. 125. We're definitely going to beat that. So, what I'm going to do is, seeing as this is in my favor, I feel like, I'm going to go here, put all my troops there. Going to go here, take that out, move there. And then here, I'm going to put 20 troops there. If I take this out and block this, it doesn't really matter because this is not a border. However, I will have to guard it when someone else expands and tries and takes this unclaimed land. So, a surprise move. I did this like early on, but they did leave me the option to. And because they left it unprotected, I've pretty much taken over and assumed command of what was their nation. Getting this early on is very good for me. Actually, do I want 100? Actually, no, I do not need 100. I misclicked. Yeah, 30 will do. For right now, because we actually are dealing with troops here. So let me see here. The act of buying troops on an individual territory costs same as buying. I'm trying to think here. So buying troops cost action points as well as moving them. So I don't know why I bought 40 there and just did that, and I could have technically bought 20 on each one. Anyway, I don't think I'm gonna get declared war on early on. I would say for like maybe the next turn or two, but it doesn't hurt to arm your borders. The next best thing to do is also keep in mind of what your army upkeep is. Because early games you're buying so many troops to protect all your borders. well, you might have issues there. So let me see this Providence. They have 6. They have 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, we'll move 30 there. We'll claim that. If not, we'll just have to go to war over it. Okay, right there. Get this. Move that out onto the water. Okay. Now another good reason why I decided to wait a while before I made my navy is because it costs money, and that's an important factor in figuring out. You want to make what you have around you strong so that your leader does not fall and get destroyed like I did early on to some of my other opponents so far. But at the same time, building a navy will allow you to expand gratefully in a greater size if you go for unclaimed territory here. So that's what I'm going to try and go for. So, okay. Yearly income. Send 10 that way. Okay, I don't like this. I told them to go there, they didn't. Okay. Well. My question is, do I go to war? Okay, you wanna know what? In this situation, I feel like I could win. So I'm going there. If I move this here from here... Actually... Gonna do that. Move all of that there. That's still protected, technically. Yeah, because we have that, so those two can attack. So I can't... So, therefore, in the way I've launched my attacks, I've done it so where I'm attacking them, but I still have troops guarding my own borders. I've seen people before play this game and they go all out, but then they leave their borders unprotected. So they gain like 1 or 2 territories, but it allows me to take that back and then some from them. I don't go and try and take out as many as I can, because if it risks leaving some territory that I just captured open for grabs. Now, another thing is that when someone declares war on you, the thing that they screwed up on here was them moving their leader close to me, which kind of is not the best thing to do, because then I just get all of their land, and that just means I have to move this here. Now I have so much more land, but now I have to defend it all. Alright. So, let's see here. So, I like what I have here, but at the same time, now I have to defend these 3 territories. It's also kind of good because you can sort of nation hop leaders. Like, you go over here, you expand as much as you can without going to war. And then when you're close to someone and you've gotten taken a few turns to arm your borders against them, then you go to war against them, and then you get all their territory if you can get their leader early on. This is a thing you want to do, but more importantly, what you want to be able to do in the early game is more focus on outnumbering at the point of attack, whereas in late game you usually want to focus on more on overpowering at the point of attack by building defenses so that you have that advantage, so where it's not so much about numbers in play here. So, now that we've taken care of pretty much early game, very early game, I'm going to end my video here. How do I save the game? It's been so long. I think it autosaves. Yes, it's been a while. Anyway, I'm going to end this strategy guide here. Well, this part, I will be continuing this specific scenario. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, any comments in the comment section down below on which scenario in this game you'd like me to do next that I have not done will be taking priority, because right now I'm just doing them in random order, but viewer submitted or viewer requested scenarios for this game will be done first if you leave them for me in the comment section down below. So that'd be much appreciated if you could do that, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.